Hey, Coach Phelps. I know it's early on in spring, so don't know how much you really know about your group that don't. But with a group that features Crumity and Pickering, and just kind of curious early on, just kind of what's your thoughts on how you might go shaking out that group, and are there some times where you may see like Crumity and Pickering both on the field at the same time, or is it too early to even speculate some of that kind of stuff?
Well, no doubt, it's great to be back. Great to be back on the field, and yes, we've made some moves that we felt with Coach Arnett's defense would get the best opportunities of players to get on the field. We made some moves to create some depth at the defensive line position, so that we can build off of what we were able to do last year. So, yes, there will be times where you see Cam and Crumity or Pickering and Crumity out on the field at the same time. Because Crumity's a big guy that can move, and we hope that he can provide us some things that we need with the exit of Marquise, with what he was able to do as a 300-pound defensive lineman that could move like a defensive end, and that was strong enough and powerful like a defensive tackle.
Yeah. Hey, just kind of with that, obviously Brandon Randy and Jordan Davis maybe playing a little bit down toward the line as well. Just where do you see those guys fitting in? I know you guys are like a couple of days into this now, but where do you see those guys kind of playing and fitting into this rotation?
Yeah, so right now we're trying Randy out at the defensive tackle position. I think he's a big enough bodied guy that can give us the strength inside, but at the same time give us the athleticness that we need as a five technique out there. We got JD, Jordan Davis, and then DeMonte Russell now playing defensive end for us, and along with Jack Harris in there and King Ani. That really gives us a solid defensive end group. Aaron Odom's over there at tackle along with Randy, as well as Crumity, and that gives us a solid depth over there. And then in the middle, you got Cam Young and Nathan Pickering, and you got Alan Love and Armandus Cooley, and we moved Javon Banks over there to see what he can do, because I think he could be kind of a swing guy that can play the nose position as well as the defensive tackle position for us.
You mentioned Javonte. I know he's missed some time, obviously the car crash and everything else. Coming back to that, just what's it been like seeing him getting back out on the field and hopefully at 100% now, and just what's that process kind of been like getting him back?
Yes, that process has been great. I mean, and you see a big smile on his face. There's some rust that he's got to get knocked off, and he understands that, and he understands that it's a process. I mean, and he's looking to get better each and every day, and that's all we got to ask from him. And I think we'll see what the tape says from today, but I think he had a pretty good practice out there. He's long, he's big, he can run, he's very athletic, and so he definitely increases the talent in the room for us. And again, creating that depth is what we needed, and that obviously brought about some great competition that we'll have. And as I foresee it throughout the spring as well as into the fall leading up to the season.
Steve?
Coach, you had the benefit of Kobe Jones kind of as the mayor and another coach in there, and really a natural born leader. Who were some guys maybe stepping up this year, maybe on and off the field, to kind of lead this group?
Yes, no doubt. You can't replace the leadership that Kobe brought, all the years. He loves this place. He was around last couple of days, and you could just see the passion for Mississippi State is still there with him. And so duly appreciate everything that he did for us and that will continue to do for us. And then also Marquise, I mean, he was a leader out there, so we graduated him. And so now you're looking at guys like Cam Young, who's really a quiet guy, but, to lead by example, but to voice his opinion on things. Jaden Crumity is a guy that we've got to get, stepping up into that leadership role, and he's really kind of taking on that role a little bit, and then, get Pickering and as well as JD up there, because those are guys that have played. And those are guys that have powerful voices in the room, and so we need that to help lead that group and lead the defense and ultimately lead the team.
Quick follow-up too, Coach. Mississippi State's had some defensive linemen signed some pretty big contracts here in the last 12 to 18 months. You as the guy that's out there kind of charged with recruiting the next group of DLU class members, how does that kind of help your job to be able to say, you know what, hey, you come here, you got a good chance to get a big check someday?
Oh, well, no doubt. I mean, the history speaks for itself, and then Dave Emmerich and the recruiting staff, they do a great job of promoting that information and getting it out to those defensive line prospects that we're taking a look at it. I mean, it's a whole group effort, and that's what's great about working for Coach Leach and his staff is, everybody's on the same page, on the same board, and all working hard to get the guys into the fold. And everybody has a passion for defensive linemen, and that obviously helps us because we know the value of the defensive linemen that have been here at Mississippi State, and that we want to definitely keep that tradition going.